it is us again, the Squeezing the Cheese, with another edition of S&C's WWE Talk, and we're live from sunny, you
Wow.
know where. Anyway, it's us. It is I, the Squeeze, and he is the Cheese, and we're here today for another edition of Wrestle Talk. So anyway, Cheese, we really didn't get to watch too much of wrestling this week. We're pretty busy with our lives, but I did watch most of Raw, and I did watch a little bit of SmackDown. Now, Raw is kind of subdued, just been subdued for this time because of just the post Roman era, and I was kind of disappointed in Raw. I really didn't like it. And SmackDown, beginning of the draft, it's shaping up to be standard draft. I mean, they haven't really changed around too many of the key players, but it's mildly interesting. I think creative is running out of ideas because they booked Becky Lynch to win the women's title on Raw, and I mean they got Brock Gunther out. You know, Gunther's my boy, and I felt that Gunther feels kind of lost and naked without that Intercontinental Championship. And I mean, I know that he got rid of Vinci, which is a smart move, but I wonder what they're going to do now. The creative plans are kind of fucked up. What do you think? Can I see it on YouTube? Anyway, what do you think, bro?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like, uh, putting the title back on Becky Lynch is the laziest, most boring, shittiest, crappiest decision they could have made right now. I think we've all had enough of and Becky Lynch, great athlete. She's puts her heart into it. She tries her best. She does her best on when she does her promos. Like I know she really, and she's super attractive, super cute. Seth Rollins in real life is a lucky man to be married to her. I understand she's probably, more attractive than, the people in the real world. I understand that, but I've had enough of her cookie monster, googly ass eye, you know, uh, same promo every goddamn week. The man has come around. It's just horrible. She's little, she's scrawny, probably one of the smallest competitors that was in the ring that night. And you're still gonna try and tell me that she can throw them all over the top rope? I mean, come on, man. It's just that's enough. It's enough of her. Like as like this overpowering just force of nature when just physically she's just not like that. She could, she can't go outside on windy days because she'll get blown over. She's that small. She's just little. But she still tries her best. So I think it's horrible that they put the strap on her. It's ridiculous. Lazy ass writing. And I'm really really disappointed with all the different directions they could have gone on to try and, because they talk about, how strong the women's division is, not only in WWE on Raw, SmackDown, but even NXT. Oh, from top to bottom, it's stacked. Then why the hell are you going to put the strap back on, the, Becky Lynch? It's ridiculous. Um, so that's how, that's how I feel about that one. Um, I really enjoyed the Chad Gable coming out and making and uh, being the heel and being rude and mean to the Alpha Academy. I thought that was really entertaining. I thought that was good. Um, to set up the Creeds coming in to beat up the Alpha Academy to take over for them. So yeah, those are the two parts of Raw that I really or the Alpha Academy was. I really enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah, it seems like they're getting a new star over in Chad Gable. That's pretty good. As far as Becky Lynch goes, I think that putting the strap back on her was a mistake as far as the storytelling they're trying to do right now. Because if it is that the fact that they had Rhea being put out because of what's her name, because of Liv
Liv
Morgan,
Morgan.
why didn't they put the strap on Liv Morgan so she could rub it in? And I think they did a segment last week where she was kind of seducing Dom or something. Why don't they put the strap on her, give her the strap for like a month or two, have her seduce Dom, and have Dom come over to her side? So then the girls are fighting over Dom when Rhea heals up. I mean, I don't get this crap, man. These guys, I don't know if it's Triple H is his head writer or whoever it is, but he's not doing a good job right now. I think they ran out of ideas after WrestleMania, and they're trying to see whatever sticks right now, you know. And like I said, Gunther comes out and he's watching the New Day versus his boys, and I guess they got rid of Vinci, which is good, but I don't know what happens now. Maybe Vinci gets drafted to SmackDown or something, but I don't know, man. I mean, I felt that Raw was just lackluster this week. It didn't have too much star power. A lot of the big names are out, and I don't know, man. I'm just not too enthusiastic about the product right now. It really doesn't interest me, but I guess it interests a lot of casual fans because the arenas are still packed. And I mean, I don't know what they want, but they're just not giving me what I want, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And I enjoyed the Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus, like their interaction in the ring. Now everybody, now Sheamus, like he's still a big guy, but maybe he's not doing as much cardio as he used to. And then
He's not doing
Drew's
any cardio, and you see how his muscle definition is not that good either. He hasn't been working out. I don't know what happened. Maybe he just stopped doing that. I don't know.
he stopped the juice. But
Yeah, that's what happens when you get off the juice. It happened to John Cena too.
I thought that was I think Drew's still doing really good heel work on the microphone, and I don't know, we'll see because his contract's supposed to be up relatively soon. Yeah,
Yeah, I think his contract's been up for a while, but he's been working on an extension. They say they want to put the title back on him as soon as Clash of the Castle because it's in Scotland this year, and they're going to make huge money if he's a champion. So
yeah,
that
yeah.
that makes sense. Right now, Backlash is from Lyon, France, and we have Jey Uso
Oh fuck.
versus Cody for
Damn.
that, and then
It's Jay versus
Backlash is
what's his nuts the tall guy, the tall, no charisma guy,
who's that?
Damian
Dijak?
Priest. It's the
Damian
Jay.
Priest. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Damian Priest versus Jey Uso. I mean, and Cody versus AJ Styles. Yeah, Damian Priest. Yeah, I know he has no charisma, but he's growing on me as champion because he's just trying his best. I mean, he's going out there and trying his best with that title. And I think they're not going to give Jey Uso the title this time around, but they're going to probably going to keep the title on Damian Priest for at least one more month to see how it works, and then maybe if he's a transitional champion, I don't know. Maybe transitions to Drew or somebody, but I don't know. I feel that Damian Priest is the kind of guy who holds the belt the first time, then the second time around, he really knows how to be a world champion. But there are just some guys who don't know how to be world champion the first time around, and Damian Priest is one of those guys.
yeah, yeah. I just he's big, he's strong. I just don't buy him. I don't buy him, and I still don't buy the whatever Uso's on Raw, the blue Uso. I don't buy him as anything but uh like a main event tag team wrestler, but like as a singles wrestler, like he like mid card, maybe have him for me. Maybe have him fight for the Intercontinental Championship or the U.S. Championship, but as a world champion, like to be the face of the company, to be the best wrestler in the company, that's just ridiculous.
I don't get it. He seems to be popular though because all the people are always screaming that yeet thing, and he's got everybody moving to his little rap thing. So I think he's just only popular with the fans. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but even for a while, Fandango, remember Fandango?
Yeah, yeah, I remember him.
he he would have the because his theme song would hit and the little dance would hit. Dude, the crowd was doing that. Arenas were doing that for a while. But eventually, it you know it's gonna that novelty of it's gonna go away, and he's gonna have to really not. And I don't think he has other than just that. Where he comes out and does his hands up and down and says yeet. He really has really nothing. He's got as far as the world of, in my opinion of, wrestling, he's a better athlete, a better wrestler than I'd ever be. But, as a world champion, I just don't see him as that level.
No, I don't see him at that level either. I don't think he's got the look. I don't think he's got the charisma. I don't think he's got the size. I don't think he's his cousin Roman Reigns. I think he's a mid card as best as he used to, like a U.S. champion. I can buy Intercontinental champion. I can't even see him as Intercontinental champion. And honestly, to tell you the truth, because Intercontinental champion has always been kind of elevated more than the U.S. title in WWE. Even because I
Yeah,
mean, we got
yeah,
Logan Paul as U.S. champion, so I mean that shows you a lot. You got a real wrestler as Intercontinental champion right now, but you got Logan Paul as U.S. champion. So you know how that shows you the disdain the McMahons had for the U.S. title, and any title came from the NWA. But the thing is, I mean,
yeah,
an Intercontinental title is for someone important who's a working man's champion. Let's just face it, we had Gunther for a year. He has 2 years as champion, and then you have this guy, Sami Zayn. So there's, Jey Uso. He would probably hold it for like 3, 4 months. Then he'd lose it to somebody important. But the
yeah,
guy, he's just being pushed, and I don't know why they're pushing him. Maybe it's because The Rock is screaming in somebody's ear to push his family. But I mean,
yeah.
it's just that most of his family members aren't very good wrestlers, and that's just the truth. And I mean, I know you would want your family members to have a job and to be around, but I mean, let's face it, Solo's not good. Nia's not good. What's his name? Jay's not good. Jimmy's not good. They're just dead weight. That if it wasn't The Rock who was the boss, they'd probably be cut sooner rather than later. You remember, a
Yeah.
long time ago, they had another relative who was a wrestler who barely lasted, Manu. Remember Manu, the chubby, really chubby, someone guy who came out with with what's his name, Randy Orton and Jimmy Snuka's son, Solo with Sim Snuka, and you had Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr. when they were priceless. They called themselves priceless. You remember the fourth member, the Samoan dude? Yeah, that guy. He
I,
didn't last too long, and
so I don't
he was
remember
part of the
that.
NOI family. He didn't last long at all. So I mean, these guys aren't all good wrestlers. Just because they come from like one of the prestigious bloodlines of wrestling, they're not the best. I mean, not all of
Yeah,
them are going to be. They're not all winners, man. It's like when you. It's like when you. It's like when you open a candy corn box, and not a candy corn. It's like when you open that advent calendar in for Christmas, and you're expecting good chocolate every day, and you get crappy chocolate once in a while. That's what happens. It happens.
that's
There's crap in every family. Unfortunately, there's more crap in that family than other families. I mean, you got the Von Erich brothers. All of them were good, but
oh man, they
compared
just
to these guys,
oh shit.
the way they push his family, man, it's like I just don't get it, man. I just think that's because Rock is in charge that you got this family running roughshod
Yeah,
in
yeah,
WWE.
yeah. His he elevated his daughter to a on screen. She's horrible as a wrestler, in ring talent. So he elevates her
Terrible.
to she's now she's just the GM. She's the GM of NXT. Just to
Yeah,
keep her in, and she's she's bad. She's yeah, horrible.
she's
But yeah,
horrible. Yeah, she just needs a job on screen doing something. Yeah. So, what do you think about the draft so far? We have Seth Rollins and Jey Uso still on Raw. Well, Bianca Belair still on SmackDown, and they drafted Carmelo Hayes to SmackDown, which I thought he would be on SmackDown because the guy's a bona fide star. I don't know if he had a match against Cody last night. I didn't see it, but I guess he challenged Cody. But man, he's something else. But I just think that Trick Williams stole his thunder. I mean, when I see NXT and I watch Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes, the way the crowd just took to Trick Williams is like, man, they just stole his thunder, man.
Trick Williams is like Jey Uso. He has a catchphrase. Where he's really, I mean, Trick Williams looks like he looks. He's big. He's muscular. He's cut.
Mm, yeah,
In the ring, he's not too good, and his mic skills ain't too good. But
yeah.
got the Trick Willie nickname and whoop that trick, and that's all it. That's a huge part of getting over is just having the giving the fans something to chant. Like what's his nuts, LA Knight. you know, uh, something that helped him really get over is getting the fans engaged to just say yeah.
Well, yeah, he's got a good like, yeah, I'm sorry I said that, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, he's got a good he got a good catchphrase. Like, you remember Hot Rod, man, Rowdy Piper? He was a good talker on the mic, but he wasn't the best in the ring. Dude was terrible in the ring. Dude was like a brawler. He really wasn't a real wrestler. But I mean, he was just one of the best talkers ever in the business. And if you can be a good talker, you either have to talk or you have to wrestle. And unfortunately, not everybody's good at both. But if you can be mediocre at both, you'll probably be a good superstar in the future. Look at Hulk
Yeah.
Hogan. Hulk Hogan was, let's face it, Hulk Hogan in the United States was a horrible wrestler. But if you ever seen his Japanese matches, the guy could move for a big guy. He was really over in Japan. He was the first IWGP heavyweight champion. This is the lineage going back to that belt. He was the first champion ever, and he was good in Japan because I don't know if you noticed about WWE, but they make the wrestlers dumb it down. That they make them dumb down their wrestling ability because they want longevity out of the wrestlers so they can make more money for the company as the years go by. But
Yeah.
some of these wrestlers, they're told to dumb down the personalities. I mean, they got another Samoan cousin coming in soon, Jacob Fatu. I don't know if I've told you about him. I have told you about him. I don't know if you've ever read about him or seen his picture, but he's amazing in the ring. He just moves you wouldn't believe. He's like he's 5 times better version than Umaga. Just a big guy who just moves around from the top rope and everything. But the thing is, he's gonna have to dumb it down in the ring because he's gonna injure himself if he does something like that in a WWE ring, his regular ring style. So you have to dumb it down for the WWE audience because they're just not used to seeing those kinds of moves. And if they did, they wouldn't be in WWE. They wouldn't watch WWE. They would watch AEW because that's what AEW does. That's what the talent in AEW does. They bust their butt trying to please the audience, but WWE, they tell them to dumb it down. Yeah, so
Right on. Now, does Jacob Fatu do the Samoan Spike?
no,
All
no, he
right,
does not
good.
do that.
All right,
Some of
good.
his some of his better moves are he picks a guy up on his shoulders, he jumps on the top rope and he slams him off the top rope.
Oh,
That
damn.
one it's crazy. This guy's amazing. When you see him and you see this size and his look, he's gonna remind you of Umaga, but he's way better than Umaga ever was. He's one of their cousins. His last name is Fatu, but he's not the son of Rikishi. He's a nephew of Rikishi.
Okay.
So he's not of the actual bloodline right now. He's another cousin on another cousin. They got so much family, man. They must rule Samoa or something, man, because they got so much family. So
Remember when Hillbilly Jim was in WWE? Do you remember
of
Hillbilly
course,
Jim?
of course I do. Yeah,
And then
he
he
was
brought
famous.
and then he brought in like his uncle Elmer
Uncle
and
Elmer and
his
cousin
cousin
Luke, I
Luke and
think.
like
Yeah,
and they just all
that's
started.
funny.
That's the original bloodline. They're
Yeah,
all
I remember that. That was funny. Uncle Elmer. Uncle Elmer didn't even wrestle. He just sat. He just stood on the apron, man. I mean, you didn't do crap, Uncle Elmer, man.
he
So
was just a big fat guy.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, man.
that's funny stuff. That's funny stuff.
So what do
All
you
right,
think
bro.
about NXT now? What do
Oh,
you think about NXT? What do you think about what's going on down there? I heard that they got rid of some wrestlers that were favorites of yours. Von Wagner and Cameron Grimes is gone, and
yeah. Cameron
Zion
Grimes.
Quinn, and yeah, they're all gone. They got their release papers, so you just didn't have anything to do with for them. So
Yeah. I just saw like a little blurb, that Cameron Grimes, like a week before he was released, Cameron Grimes says it when like a high ranking WWE official told him like, oh, like like you don't have to worry about, the releases coming up. And then he got released. So maybe the guy was telling him, yeah, don't worry, because there's nothing
he
you
was
can
just
do about it. You're
pulling his
getting
leg,
released. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
And then
Cameron
yeah,
Grimes, I just think he didn't have, I don't know, he was reasonably popular. He he was a little charismatic. I just didn't think he was just nothing special about him. Nothing set him apart for me.
Yeah, he had a couple of entertaining like time when like when he had to be LA Knight's butler.
Yeah, that
like
was good.
like that was entertaining, to have him, but like as a like a comedy like type of act. That's when he was, for me, the most entertaining. I never really bought him as like a legit, like kind of like a tough guy, tough wrestler. He when
So
I saw him, I always expected to laugh or to giggle, kind of like Tozawa.
yeah, the way I saw him, I like the little shoulder vest I like the little vest he came on. I would have had him come out in a hat, like one of those straw hats from like the country, and maybe a whiskey bottle, and just emphasize the fact he's from North Carolina, or wherever he's from, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the bluegrass music and all this.
yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah,
emphasize that country gimmick and have him get over that way, as a lovable country guy, because
yeah,
they just don't emphasize gimmicks anymore. Some guys just are lackluster and have no charisma if they don't have a gimmick. But they probably could have gotten them over that way.
yeah,
They're just cranking out wrestlers now, and they're not giving them a chance to develop. They're expecting them to go out there and develop on their own and have the crowd just pick up on them, but they're just not giving some guys a chance to develop. And that's the problem with
yeah,
WWE. I'm
yeah,
sure
yeah,
he's gonna make a lot more money on the independent circuit because he's been in WWE, and now people have seen him, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, he's pretty good." And
yeah,
it's
yeah,
always when when you get released from WWE, it's not like it can never go back. It's like saying, "Oh, we don't want you right now, but get better. You'll come back." I mean,
yeah,
some of
yeah.
these guys
It's happened.
have amazing what's it called they have amazing careers on the independent circuit. Like I don't know if you know about what's happened with Zack Ryder, but Zack Ryder's had one of the best careers ever on the independent circuit ever since he was released from WWE, and
Yeah,
he's like the king of the independents. Just a swagger, his demeanor, his whole look, the guy's totally changed. And if he ever comes back to WWE, I don't think people recognize him. They'll recognize his face and they'll know it's Zack Ryder. But as far as the person he is now, he's not the same person.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. And then yeah, Von Wagner got Von Wagner got cut.
I never saw anything special in Von Wagner. Sorry, I heard he's a second generation superstar. When I heard who his father was, I'm like, oh my god, that's his father. But
Yeah, who's it?
I
Like
can't.
Wayne Bloomer?
Is it Wayne Bloom? Yeah, I think it is Wayne Bloom from the Beverly Brothers. Yeah, I'm like, that's his father doesn't look like him.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. You
Hello?
there? You there?
What was that?
Yeah, I think it is Wayne Bloom. His father is. Can you hear me?
I'm having technical difficulties.
Oh, put the
Well,
headphones back on. Put the headphones back on.
hello?
Yeah, I can
Can you
hear
hear
you.
me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh man,
Oh man. Uh.
nothing.
Oh,
Well,
geez. Okay.
it's all
Okay.
right. We're at
Let's.
23 minutes.
Okay. 22 minutes. Okay. See you later, man.
See you later.
See you later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.